What up? How you feeling?
I feel like I have to take a huge shit.
The lava boils to the surface.
It fucking does. And, like I said, I feel like I literally feel like
sluggish. Just
yeah, there you go. That's the right word. I feel like I'm tired. I feel like I'm exhausted.
Took a lot out of you. Took a lot out of me.
It did, but you know what? We fucking did it.
Hey, we
did it. We fucking did it. We fucking balls to the wall. Did it. Where's my little fucking thingy here? Oh, by the way, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 22nd issue of Why Am I Nervous and Zero Comics. Where each and every week we get together to talk all things comics, from old to new, banters and what ifs. We got you covered. We are officially the two most badass motherfuckers in the world. Next to every other.
In the history of motherfuckers.
Yeah, next to all the other motherfuckers that have done this thing. We fucking did it.
So it's one chip. It's Ghost Pepper, Carolina Reaper. It's Death on a chip. It was rough. There's the video's going to be up pretty soon. I think we're just waiting for that to get edited.
Yep.
And it'll be live on our Instagram at Why Am I a Nerd.
We're featherweights, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We
did
weren't
5
going
minutes.
beyond that, and we immediately downed milkshakes after that.
Yep.
We're both lactose intolerant, so that should tell you exactly how hot this chip was.
Yeah, it was well worth it. We can get a free bag since we achieved it. Oh, by the way, I'm Cameron James. That's the golden voice. So yeah, if you were featherweight means we waited 5 minutes without taking a drink. 10 minutes is lightweight. 30 minutes is middleweight, and 1 hour is heavyweight. So maybe we're not that badass, but we're still fucking badass.
I can't imagine someone having the mental fortitude to sit there for an hour without having anything else going on. Like, I don't even know what I could be doing. Like,
dude, and you know what it was too? It was like, it was so dry. It literally, like, the consistency, the best way to describe the consistency to anybody would be like if you dumped cinnamon on a chip and like chewed
But that cinnamon was also the surface of the sun.
Yeah. And it's like, at first, like, it doesn't even like hit you that bad.
No, you're like, okay, look, this isn't like the worst thing I've ever had. And then you're like, all right, this is getting a little bit worse. And then it's like, it stays in your throat and your eyes start watering and you think you might throw up. And you're like, holy shit, like this is how I go out.
Yeah, we took it at 6 o'clock today. Exactly at 6 o'clock is when we did it. It's now 7:04 and I finally have the heat gone.
Yeah.
It's like gone. Like, I can actually...
Nothing about that was okay. I feel so bad for Sean and Ann.
Yeah. Well, they don't know about this, but now they're gonna.
I mean, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, because they're next to do it, so they can.
My stomach is so fun. I don't even know what I'm gonna eat after this to like follow this up.
I mean, let's see. We had a milkshake each, 2 bowls of ice cream, 2 cups
of milk.
Yeah, so a quart of ice cream or quart of milk between the two of us. Plus, you had a cupcake.
Yeah. So I'm like, do I just get something to fill my stomach or get something to flush everything? Do I just get Taco Bell and White Castle and just be like, let's get all this done?
I think you need to just do it. Yeah. I think you just need to get Taco Bell and
just flush it all right out.
Let it
and then
go.
Just go into tomorrow as a new man.
Taking the Tums was a smart move too, though.
That was the smartest thing we did.
But I am definitely now, like, so now that it's settled, my stomach's definitely like, what?
Oh, yeah. My stomach's like, what the actual fuck is going on?
It's like I haven't had that much dairy in the course of an hour.
Dairy might help. We might just flush everything right through us right now.
I said to Rich, shout out to Rich, motherfucker, for finding him. He knew I was looking for him, and he doesn't take him.
Finest.
I know he doesn't do hot very well, but hey, you know the rules. If you get called out and if you get opinions are for assholed, you have to do it.
Yep.
But your life can't be in danger. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Normally it's a food
Yeah.
challenge. What we're doing. We're pretty much doing different food challenges and whatnot.
Christ.
So we've done, and you think, see, it's weird. Like, I feel like the Buffalo Wild Wings hit quicker because it was like a wet sauce. Like, I feel like
still think it was everything about this chip was worse.
I don't know, man.
Also, we let the chips sit longer too. Like, as soon as we were done, because most of us, 75% of the people involved in the Blazing Wing Challenge finished their wings. We didn't just take a bite and then go cry in the corner.
Yeah.
In our caves on top of gargoyles.
Yeah.
In Gotham.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, I'm saying Batman sucks.
Fuck you. How you say that after we just did that? What the actual fuck? What the actual
I was just
fuck?
going back. Sorry, that was just a reference to months ago when the first time we did Opinions Are For
You
Assholes.
almost gave up first this time. You were like, oh, I really want that milkshake. And I was like, you can't do that. You can't do that. We're too strong for that. We're too good. You can do it. Well, I was like, what would Spider-Man do?
I was like,
what would Spider-Man do? Exactly.
Like,
pew, pew. So, but once again, this is Why Am I Nerd and Joe Comics. You can follow us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd, and listen to new issues every Tuesday on YouTube or your favorite podcast service. So, there's a little bit of a change to our list.
Please like and subscribe on YouTube so we can get fucking verified. Please.
I mean, we just went through hell. We'll post that video, so maybe we'll get some subscribers to that. I don't know.
Jesus.
But anyway, Matt, tell us, October 21st, what can we find at our local comic shop from the 7?
From Marvel, the House of Ideas, Fantastic Four number 25, Daredevil 23, Venom 29, True Believers, Black Widow, Dark Star number 1, The Amazing Spider-Man number 50, limited release. Is that what the LR is?
I think so. I didn't really understand what was going on there.
Maybe we got to look into that. Conan the Barbarian number 15, Werewolf by Night number 1, Maestro number 3, Spider-Woman number 5, True Believers, Black Widow and the Avengers number 1, Excalibur number 13, Guardians of the Galaxy number 7, Arrow number 12, Marvel's X number 6, X-Men number 13, True Believers, Black Widow, Taskmaster number 1, Falcon and the Winter Soldier number 4, Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 6, Juggernaut number 2, and Iron Man number 2. From DC, we've got Batman number 101, Teen Titans 46, Justice League 55, Metal Men 11, Nightwing 75, Batman White Knight Presents Harley Quinn number 1, Dark Knights Death Metal Robin King number 1, Aquaman number 64, Catwoman number 26, and Scooby-Doo Where Are You number 106. That's a random one.
That Robin King death metal, mark my words now, that thing's gonna end up selling for like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, should we get that? Should we? When does this all? This all comes out this week. We should go.
We got to figure out. Well, yeah, we're gonna go to Geekery before we set at 10. Yeah, but can you get there that early? They close at 6.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's look at my schedule right now for Wednesday because I can work technically in the car. I should be saying this live because some of my coworkers listen, but we could maybe go at like 4:30.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, you want to shoot for like 4?
Yeah, we don't know where the fuck it is, but we'll do it anyway.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I actually looked it up. I haven't had a better idea of where it is.
Okay, fair enough.
From Image, we've got Family Tree number 9, Rat Queens number 22, Gideon Falls number 26, Black Magic 15, Nomen Omen 10, Savage Dragon 253, Big Girls number 3, and The Scumbag number 1. From Boom, we've got Faithless 2, Faithless 11 or Faithless 1-1.
I think it was Faithless 2.
Yeah, I think it's Faithless 2, number 5. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, number 55. Something is Killing the Children, number 11. Dune, House of Atreides, number 1. Firefly, number 21. From Dark Horse, You Look Like Death. Tales from the Umbrella Academy, number 2. Stranger Things, Halloween Special, number 1. Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, Song of Glory, number 1. Are you guys going to review that on Alpha Beta Gold? Because I'm very interested in that game.
We can, yeah. I'm a little weary about it because they added that stupid, slow, hide through people bullshit, but I was going to get it, yeah.
That's like the idea of being a Viking. I want to go to Norway real fucking bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure they got a good comic shop somewhere.
Oh, yeah, probably. Well, we're not going to understand what any of it says.
Fair enough.
Is this Flurgendurgen? We got Hidden Society, number 4. Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy, number 5. From Dynamite. Like, I swear to God, if Dynamite doesn't get at least 2 new characters, because everything is just around the 2. Oh, fuck.
It hit you, right?
Yeah, that was a little rough. From Dynamite. Mars Attacks Red Sonja number 3. Like, just stop with all the Red Sonja Vampirella stuff. Vengeance of Vampirella number 11. And Betty Page number 3. Like, what the fuck?
So, speaking of Dynamite, I think Dynamite, I think it was. Yeah.
I just got to the Who Asked for This, and I'm like...
Oh, yeah. Hold on to that. Would you read a Black Noir comic?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe the only boy story that I would probably read.
But...
Think
I don't know
about
how
it.
deep they can go with it.
Why? You never know what he's doing in that book.
But once it's revealed his identity and stuff, and he's just like crazy, and like he can't even really talk in full sentences, I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, he'd be like a mute. He would be like, he is literally Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way around it.
Yeah,
I don't think Snake Eyes talks.
Snake Eyes doesn't talk, but he's just Snake Eyes, but like crazy fucking powerful and basically immortal.
Yeah, I mean, I would read that too. I think it'd be over the top and like ridiculous, but I think it'd be a good read. It might be the only boys thing I'd probably read again.
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't read a Huey and
oh my god,
Starlight
dude!
book.
If I had to read one more fucking story about Wee Huey, oh come on, Hen.
Yeah,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
man.
I'm at. But
I never met a bigger bitch who has superpowers. Like Huey has actual superpowers in the books, and he's such a bitch.
he does whine a lot.
Yeah,
Like a lot. That's all he does is complain. And even Butcher's kind of like, yeah, you're gonna have to do that. And then he like hulks up for like split seconds, like blacks out and then kills somebody, and it's like, oh my god, I'm sorry.
Like, oh,
it's like, really? All right, bro. I mean,
like yeah, it sucks, but like you also kind of volunteered for this.
he's a little less bitchy in the show.
Yeah, the show. That's what I said. The show's better than the books.
I don't know.
I gotta finish watching season 2 though. I'm really not far in season 2 at all.
You're not? I don't know. I didn't really. I'm just not on board. I can't get behind the show. I couldn't get really dragged through the freaking book. What were you saying?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. Speaking of shows I need to catch up on, and we're gonna get to this later on in the segment. My buddy Lucas has been pestering me to watch the Watchmen TV show, which I've been putting on.
Sean's been doing the same thing to me.
I definitely need to watch.
Sean from Fourth and One, everybody.
It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, he was like, "Did you watch it? Did you watch it?" And but again, we'll talk about that, especially because Rorschach is back. But before we get into that, this week is our I'm so fucking still bothered by this. I can't even fucking
hard.
I can't even fucking talk.
Just take your time. It's fucking difficult.
Holy shit!
Like
all
my
right.
stomach is just in.
It's starting to hit.
I was gonna go home and like lift after this. I don't think it's a good idea. I really don't. Like.
All right.
Ugh.
So as I was about to say, this week's Who Asked This segment comes from Hydre.
No, I think it's just Hyde.
Is it Hyde? I don't know. Hyde rapes the Invisible Man to death from none other than the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which I have not read anything about this. But to me, I'm just like, what in the fuck? Like, what in the actual fuck? And who thought this was good?
Fucked up things in this
League of Extraordinary. Oh, this article. This was actually a topic, but this was definitely the most.
Which one? Which topic? Oh, by the
number
way,
5.
Oh, but I say, hold on. Go to number 3 real quick.
Hold on. Number 3. Oh yeah,
that's why I hate Ultimates 3.
that was 3. We're not gonna spoil what that is. We'll probably be stuck one day, maybe reading it
Yeah. Well, this is probably gonna be. There's a lot of things we can do and come back to from this.
from this article. Yeah, I thought about that, but I was like, maybe we'll wait for Halloween and do it as a Halloween special segment. But yeah, so Hyde pretty much rapes the Invisible Man. But again, I didn't read much of this. Again, for me, the things are just like where. Even this whole like thing, like how does he even find him? Yeah. Are you as confused as I am?
Yeah, this is super fucked up. This is really weird. I mean, not that I think it would be better with context, but it's fucking weird. There's a lot of number 6 is weird too. This should just be we're just pulling everything from this list for the next couple weeks, right? Because there's a lot of things to cover.
We can, or we can just talk about it on the Halloween issue.
Remarkably fucked up.
Yeah, I mean this again. Anybody?
I just got hit with like a second wave
of heat.
Yeah,
did you really?
It just like came up. I was like, whoa. I think I'm good, but
well, if anybody wants to read League of Extraordinary Gentlemen for us, let us know how this all comes into context before we have to go and read it.
I don't want to do it.
But I really don't plan on reading. I don't really plan on reading this because, well, again, the image alone, like this bottle, this bottle's like floating.
The whole thing about it, like, I don't understand why this guy can't get away from him. Like, how? I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, and I guess again, he somehow kills him. I don't really understand how, but we're going to move on from that and just say, you know what, Hyde, maybe you should go find yourself something better to do in your spare time.
So, I mean, I guess he found something to do.
Wow. Too soon. But Matt, tell us, what's hot off the press this week, courtesy of the Planet Bugle?
So, coming to us from CBR.com, is Watchmen's Rorschach really back from the dead? And Tom King, shouts to the friend of the show, and Jorge Fornes's Rorschach #1, the DC Black Label series hints at the possibility the Watchmen character may be back from the dead. So this already has major spoilers. I don't know whether or not this ties into the TV show, but If you don't want to know, now would be a good time to mute us and wait till the next segment.
Skip ahead like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you just read this literally 15 minutes before we went on the air here.
And I really don't know what the fuck I read. The only thing I could really gather from it was that Rorschach may have been impersonating somebody else's, the guy who wrote all the pirate stories. Mm-hmm. He may have been impersonating his life and lived somehow into his 80s, and then very possibly dies in the beginning of the comic book. Yeah,
so pretty much Rorschach, if you aren't familiar with the Watchmen book, gets what you assume is disintegrated by Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
And then in this book, again, and when you read Watchmen, the pirate guy is always popping up. He's always there.
Fucking
and nobody understands why. You could probably skip it. I don't even know what the fucking pirate story was about.
Yeah, I'm sure Alan Moore had some kind of super meaningful thing for it. Personally, it wasn't for me.
Yeah, and he probably missed the mark on it. But here, right away, again, Rorschach or a guy dressed up. Or I don't think he's dressed up in the beginning of it. We have the book right here.
He is in
is he when he gets lit up?
Yeah, he's in his full costume.
So the guy. Oh, he is okay. So the guy gets lit up like a fucking Christmas tree, running at like a. Where were they? They're at like an art like a. Where were they? They're at some sort of event, and him and you assume they're at a rally. Looks like they're at a presidential rally. And him and his assumed wife, or girlfriend perhaps, who's dressed up looking like the Lone Ranger, both die on this catwalk, assuming they're going to assassinate, I guess it's the president.
The president, or the guy who's running for president.
And they find out that the DNA of his fingerprints of the guy that is shot is the same fingerprints as the guy that was presumably Rorschach from the Watchmen. And pretty much what they're saying here in this article, if we read further down, again, this article comes from us from CBR, courtesy of Ian Cardona, is that Dr. Manhattan didn't actually disintegrate him, but sent him into a different like dimension, time frame type thing. Mm. So he just comes back. The fact that he stays quiet for so long is, a whole different story. Do I think that? To me, I guess my issue is like, okay, you kill him in the Watchmen. He's like the favorite character.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he gets, if it is him, he dies again in this in the first 2 pages.
Not even like.
It's like the first panel.
Yeah.
And my thing is, why would you call this book Rorschach if he's not even going to fucking be in it?
What he did since he was dead. I mean, I don't get it.
So you think there's going to be flashbacks?
I don't know what they're trying to do. I really don't. I don't fucking get it. I also opened some kind of weird window that I keep not able to close right now. It's the whole thing doesn't really make sense to me. It seems like kind of a slap in the face to the original story. Mm-hmm. It just seems wildly and wholly unnecessary. So I don't really get why they're trying. Yeah,
and he's apparently the guy they find dead, like I think you mentioned earlier, was 80. And Rorschach, whose real name is Walter Kovacs, died at 35.
And the other thing worth mentioning is that someone, apparently like some superhero collector, stole a whole bunch of like artifacts, one of which was Rorschach's prints before he got sent into prison, or when he got sent to prison. And apparently the prints matched perfectly with this new dead body. So Rorschach was alive and kind of in hiding. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope that they come up with a good twist for it. Again, it seems like it seemed like it was going to be a really good concept. I was actually pretty intrigued by it originally. Now after reading the first issue, I'm kind of like, really? Like, I don't know. Like, this is what it was. This was the idea. Wasn't really, not really following it as much as I really hoped that it was going to originally. But again, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's only the first issue. I'm assuming it's probably going to be a 6-issue run, maybe. And hopefully they can just pull themselves, together and make the story a little more. God damn it, a little more. What's the word?
Excuse me.
God damn, bro, how'd that burn?
Oh my God, it wasn't good, dude. There's a little bit of residue on it.
Is there? Ghost pepper, baby.
This is gonna be a rough one.
Ghost pepper. But all right, what do we got next?
DC Future State. So let's see what this. God damn it, keeps opening shit in this fucking weird ass little window. The DC universe is taking a giant leap into the future. DC's next event, Future State, launches in January. This comes to us from Polygon.com. So this is going to mark the beginning of 2021 with a bold move, hitting pause on the present day of the DC universe to spend 2 months exploring a strange new future. Across a slate of dozens of one-shots, miniseries, and oversized anthology issues, we'll get a new Batman, a new Superman, and a new Wonder Woman, and a new, well, almost everyone else. In Gotham, Bruce Wayne is dead. And
so there's actually
probably POC Batman steps up to save the city.
So before you go into it, there's a second link there from Games Radar, which actually lists all the issues that they're going to be doing. So right off the bat, I don't understand why they're doing this.
I guess just to do something different. What the fuck? Can we talk about this? Why do I have so many screens open? Like, how is this happening?
What did you do?
I don't know.
Why don't you just double click and close the double-click the little circle button, the power button. You know, like the old power button thing?
Yeah.
And close the...
It's not even give me the option to close it.
What do you mean? Let me see that thing. Hold on. Technical difficulties.
Technical
We're still here, right?
Yeah. We're still here.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
So it's just shots again. So first of all, the only way I can possibly think about this is that they're doing this as it's only a 2-month run. So right off the bat, it's only gonna be 2 months that they're doing this. And there's a bunch of books. We're gonna try to collect them all, just fucking get them all and read them. Maybe they're trying to do where they're like, hey, let's see how this works, see if people like it, and then they're gonna maybe, when they do, because there was a while there they were talking about how their next rebirth, quote, was going to be called 5G, which, screams future.
Yeah.
So maybe they're doing this to test it to see, hey, people like it, people don't. If people don't like it, maybe they're like, all right, let's come up with a different concept, rather than just putting out this 5G and everyone be like, yo, who the fuck wants this? Because they're doing 2 different Batmans, which this is where you were about to say, which gets weird, is one's called The Next Batman, and there's another one called Dark Detective, where Dark Detective, the world thought Bruce Wayne was dead, but he's not. And then in New Batman, he is apparently dead. So, not too sure where they're going to be going with this.
Maybe he dies in the thing.
Yeah, but then you're having 2 different Batman storylines. This is what I've talked about before. It's like, I hate when they have like 4 different storylines going on in the same character. And then they have the future state of Harley Quinn, which this is one I didn't really understand. It says, in a bold move that rocks Gotham City, the magistrate has imprisoned Harley Quinn. The villain, once known as the Scarecrow, now a pawn of the magistrate, taps into Harley Quinn's knowledge of Gotham's villains and the Blackgate gang for his own dark purpose. So I don't understand if they're saying she's possessed.
I guess the Scarecrow's using her mind.
I'm not too sure what they were going at with that one. But again, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of this move.
I'm with you on that. I think this seems
being a DC person. Pretty much, just so everybody knows real fast, it's starting January 5th with the next Batman going to January 5th, as well as Harley Quinn #1. And then January 12th, you have Dark Detective #1. Robin Eternal #12, which it looks like he's older of some sort. The next Batman #2 is January 19th. Catwoman, who cares, January 19th. Nightwing #1, January 19th, which he looks like he's wearing a fucking boxing helmet on. Batman and Superman #1. Again, with the Batman stuff, he's supposed to be dead, and he's not dead. Who the fuck knows? Dark Detective #2 is January 26th. And then that's all we have here on this issue as of right now. But they are doing, so it looks like Dark Detective's going to be 4 issues. Batman and Superman is going to be 2. Nightwing is going to be 2. What is this? Catwoman's #2 is going to be 2. The next Batman will be 4. Robin Eternal will be 2. This is issues, just so everybody knows. And Harley Quinn will be 2. So I guess look out for that. Hopefully Hopefully they just do something unique with it. Hopefully they don't just kind of throw a bunch of shit together.
Yeah,
I mean, it does kind of... The next Batman kind of screams Batman Beyond to me, just from, like, the picture of it. It looks like there's a drone of some sort floating around in it. The city looks like it's, like, fucking Shanghai almost. Not like Shanghai, but, like, that's how bright it is, like, and
like
vibrant.
super...
Yeah, it's not like Gotham by any means. So, should be interesting. We will, keep you updated on that come January, but keep a lookout because, again, that's coming at you sooner than later. It's already almost fucking Thanksgiving for all we fucking know.
Jesus, yeah, it really is.
So,
next up from cosmicbook.news, is this how Wolverine should be reintroduced? So we have a rumor about Wolverine for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, Redditors are claiming that the show will feature some sort of surprise scene involving Wolverine and Madripoor. I'm going to keep throwing this out there. I absolutely hate when people spoil shit like this. Because in the days before the internet, you would just get surprised if something cool happened on a show. Now it's like, it's going to get spoiled immediately before you even get the chance to watch it. So we're going to be watching like, oh, is this the Madripoor scene? Is this the Madripoor scene? For those who don't know, in Marvel, oh, God. In Marvel,
it's a ghost, baby. It's that ghost.
Is a fictional Asian island that is best known because of its relation to Wolverine and was heavily featured in his solo series.
That boy, let it out.
Oh, God. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier set pics have confirmed Madripoor will be featured in the show. So it's possible we could see it and then it could get explained in the fucking Multiverse of Madness.
But do you think that this is how they should reintroduce him?
I think it's definitely an interesting idea. I don't hate it, honestly.
Really?
It's a good way to get people to watch the show. It's just, is it going to be natural or is it going to be super forced? You know what I mean? Like, it depends.
But how does this fit in the timeline?
What do you mean?
So, spoilers for Logan if you haven't seen it. Wolverine is presumably dead at the end of Logan.
Well, it's a different universe.
Is that what they're getting at?
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's not.
So, should Hugh Jackman
was never in the MCU.
So, should Hugh Jackman be that Wolverine?
Honestly, no. Honestly, he should not. I think Hugh Jackman said a few times that he's done. So we'll see.
See, I don't like this move because I don't think enough people watch Disney Plus or care about Disney Plus.
Well, I think that's part of why they're doing it. I
but
think
nobody's
to get more people in there.
Yeah, but I also don't think the Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to do as well as people think.
We'll see.
Because they're B list. Yeah, but these are B list characters.
Yeah, 100%.
So unless they're spoiling at some point, saying that Wolverine is going to be in it,
that might be part of the draw to get more people in. And listen, here's my thing: is that my Disney Plus subscription, I got it for free with Verizon. So my 1 year free is up, I think, next month. So like, they got me for, the free year. I watched all my movies, whatever. But the only show I was really into at that point was The Mandalorian. So now, like, if you've got something else to keep me invested, this is the time to release it to keep me on the platform.
But this is not going to be it.
It might be it. I'm definitely going to watch the show.
So you're going to renew your subscription just to watch Falcon Winter Soldier?
I'll keep it. It just automatically charges me like $6 a month, like whatever.
See, I think that they need to go bigger with this. I think first of all, I don't think it's long enough. Or I don't think the time is right. I don't think that it's been long enough to settle in that he's been dead.
Because but it's a different universe.
But his character, the fact that bringing back his character to me feels rushed. Because think about it. How often did they make a Wolverine movie? Every 4 years, maybe?
Not even.
Okay, let's say 2. Let's say 3. Let's say
3, yeah.
Every 3 years, there's a new Wolverine movie, right? When did Logan come out? 2018?
No, it was like 2017, wasn't it?
All right, so 3 years then. You're staying on trend. Here's another Wolverine appearance. Like, he needs
People
to be...
love Wolverine.
Yeah.
And this is... And it's an EOS 2017. And again, this is just an appearance. Like, this isn't the whole... My thing is, if you do that, right, and you show him, and he shows up, whatever, and it's not Hugh Jackman, some other schmo, and it does not get the reception that you're looking for, then what? That's a waste of an appearance. It was a waste of teasing him. Yeah.
Rather than just being, like, gung-ho on it, like, and figuring out who's going to do it. And
well, yeah, but at some point he's going to have to make an appearance anyway, so they're rolling that risk no matter what.
But it should be in a movie.
And who knows if they'll actually... Here's the thing. We might not actually see him. They might just be like some nutcase with a bunch of claws tore up this like hotel a couple weeks ago. Like they might just reference him. we might not actually see Wolverine. It might just be like, that's someone we're going to have to come back for. Like, you know what I mean? It sounds like a guy we might be interested in.
I just feel like with the X-Men, they need to really have the game plan because they have not had a very good game plan for the X-Men.
Well, no, but now it's Kevin Feige in charge as opposed to Fox being in charge.
Right, but what we were talking about last week, like Kevin Feige was involved in, and we were like, he's involved with that? Like
the Spider-Man thing, which I'm still, which we have to have. I was talking to my buddy Kyle on my way here, which we got to have him on the next show.
Okay.
Because he's got some interesting ideas on it too. So we might have to zoom it.
That's fine.
It's still, it's.
I just don't believe that Wolverine should get brought in right now. And I think if they do bring him in too,
he can't be a main focus. Oh, it says. So perhaps, it says here it might just be a quick cameo.
But why waste the scene?
Because the cameo gets you hyped up. You're like, wait, was that Wolverine? And then it's the thing we'd all talk about it no matter what.
Yeah, but what are they gonna do? Do this scene like? Because what was when did they do it with him? Where he's like, what X-Men movie was it? When he's like walking out, his claws just shoot out. Wasn't in one of the newer X-Men movies where
his claws don't shoot out. It was in First Class where they're looking for people to recruit. And they sit down at a bar, and it's like, "Hi, I'm Charles Xavier, and I'm Eric Lencher," and he's like, "Fuck off!" Like he's immediately like, "Get the fuck out of here."
No, there's another scene too where he's like, they're like looks like they're in like a lab, and he's like walking down the hallway, and he just like shoots his claw out. Remember, it was like in a trailer, and it was like, "No fucking way."
That actually was one of the few good parts of. Was that Apocalypse? That wasn't Apocalypse. It was Apocalypse.
Was it? I don't know.
Sure.
I don't remember what it was.
The first one with Jean and Cyclops of the new movies. I think it was Apocalypse.
Maybe. But that you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now.
Like I could see if they're gonna do something, it had to be something like that. Like don't show his face. You're like they'd have to pretty much do like a stunt double, or maybe someone's watching like a tape, and you just see like a person, like a security film, and seeing somebody fighting, and you're like, oh shit, that's like Wolverine, and you never see his actual face, so you could cast anybody and their fucking mother to do the scene. But in my opinion, bringing him in and reintroducing him in Wolverine, reintroducing Wolverine in Falcon and Winter Soldier is not what they should do, because again, even with the current comic books, like what they're doing, House of X or Swords. X of Swords,
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, so I think with the X-Men, again, I know you said that Kevin Feige's involved with it now, and he's, you trust him, but he is attempting to do something with the Spider-Man movie, which we can talk to your friend. We'll have Kevin on next week, hopefully, and discuss it then. But
wait, Kyle, not Kevin.
Kyle, I'm sorry.
Like, wait, what?
No, Kyle, I'm sorry. But yeah,
it was 26. It was X-Men Apocalypse that he shows up, and it was in the trailer. And I was like, I wish I hadn't put that in the trailer.
They spoiled it.
Yeah,
they
but
fucking
it's the
spoiled
same
it.
with this. I think you'd be saying something different if like a month from now, or whenever the fuck this show comes out, I was like, yo, did you watch Wolverine and did you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier? And you're like, no. And I'm like, yo, watch this episode. And halfway through, it just like snicked, and you're like, what? Wait, what?
The only surprise that I think could possibly be the biggest surprise in movie comic book history right now, which I know for a fact, it's just like a really, 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 I guess it would be like a conspiracy of mine, is that the Batman is not about Bruce Wayne.
I mean, that would be awesome.
That would be the
awesome.
Biggest twist that you could possibly do. Right? That
just like Damian Wayne the whole time.
You had said that before.
Yeah. Because I was saying, I know your prevailing theory is that it's Terry McGinnis.
Yeah. But I don't know, because again,
Dude, I'm having a hard time.
I could tell.
I feel like it's just like sitting.
I can tell you're.
It's
it's like the last time when you were really high, and you're
it's like I'm better than that. I'm so better than that. It's just like sitting in there.
Yeah, but I can tell. Normally you're more animated, and normally you're more like into it. Right now, I just feel like fuck. I
gotta like focus. I'm putting a lot of effort into making it through this, man.
We're doing this for you guys. Remember that.
Do not eat this. The Paquai, I don't know what the fuck this is called. PAQUI gets an official. Don't fucking do it.
But not for nothing. This is 2020. This little certificate.
Okay.
What does 2021 bring?
We're not going to find out. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of the bad things that's happened in 2020.
Well, like I said, I'll go bring this
Ugh, just thinking about it. Ugh,
I'll go
God.
bring this free bag of Pocky ghost pepper chips somewhere and fucking struggle my way about that. But anyway, moving on.
Ugh.
Is Green Lantern really going to be HBO Max's Daredevil?
I highly doubt it. My link does not work.
Neither does mine. But we could easily copy this
Yep.
and
Great minds.
paste it here. But first of all, before we get into the thing again, this is a CBR courtesy. Noah Dominguez. Sorry if I botched that. Right off the bat, I'm going to go hard no. This is not going to be their Daredevil because they fucked up with the casting in every way possible.
I mean, they fucked up with the characters. Not even so much
like the casting of the characters. Not the, what's the word? The characters, I guess. Fine.
Yeah.
Like they brought nobody in here. It's not working.
It's not letting me paste.
What?
Yeah.
They brought nobody in here that is relevant, again, that we all care and want to see. You know, again,
Yeah.
you can say, oh, well, they're bringing Guy Gardner. Yeah, but Guy Gardner also, we've said before last week, gets his fucking head curb stomped.
Yeah, Guy Gardner's dead. Guy Gardner fucking died in Death of Superman. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the entire Justice League died in that book.
Because he doesn't have he's not like super strength. Like
No,
the ring doesn't make you like.
No, you can probably put up a force field or like.
But he
can
didn't.
enhance your strength.
He did not.
He just got his ass beat.
Yeah, he got curb stomped. He got fucking pile drive, whatever the fuck he had. Like they should have all been dead. And I feel like they're all just getting like carted off in like a fucking ambulance. But to me, in retrospect to this, now I'm gonna say something, and I know how you feel about this. I particularly didn't like season 1 of Daredevil, and I know. I'll give them the one fight scene when he fights in the building.
Amazing in the hallway.
Yeah, I'll give them that. But I didn't like. I couldn't get myself invested in it for whatever unknown reason. I just couldn't find myself being like, cool. I like the second season a lot because they introduced Punisher.
Well, Punisher had great scenes in the second season. He really did. He was a scene stealer.
But you could easily say that with this Daredevil, this did bring Netflix great.
It's like,
this brought Netflix great superhero.
this
shows.
is the only one they did a good job with.
I'll argue that. I will argue that. The first season of Jessica Jones was not that bad.
Yes, okay. Actually, you're 100% right. Everything else kind of sucked. Even Punisher was just slow.
It was.
Punisher was way too slow for a show where you're like, I don't care about this fucking random family he's friends with. I don't care about this other shit. I'm like, just be the Punisher. Luke Cage, they tried to make it all.
I did
super,
not like that show.
Civil rights, not civil rightsy, but they took the character away from the core of what he was and tried to make him into something else. Where they wanted Luke Cage to be what Black Panther became. Does that make sense?
You think so?
The cultural icon where they're like, it's a black superhero and he's bulletproof. And then they made it all about social justice. And I'm like, that's cool if you touch on that, but that's not the core of who the character Luke Cage is. And I think one of the major failings of that show was that Luke Cage doesn't have enough material on his own to make a TV show. Iron Fist doesn't have enough material on his own to make a TV show. But the two of them together gives you a whole unique dynamic. Obviously, you get a different actor to play Iron Fist.
That was an awful casting call.
It was just really bad. I was excited at first. I'm like, dude, this kid's not very good.
No, but it wasn't even just like the casting of it. I felt like it was the whole his look.
Super rushed production. Oh yeah, his look was awful. He never actually gets the Iron Fist outfit, and the whole time he's like, "Oh, I'm the immortal Iron Fist. I'm the defender of Kunlun." I'm like, shouldn't you fucking be there?
Yeah.
Then like,
and that end scene of the first season of Iron Fist, where he comes busting through the window, looked so bad. Like, I just remember watching and being like, God damn, this looks like a fucking 90s movie where it's like slow. The whole show
had like 3 weeks or something of pre-production. Like, it was super rushed.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you were to list like the top 3 seasons for the Netflix MCU, I'll call it, you'd probably have to go with, you say Daredevil season 1, which I would
say all 3 seasons of Daredevil, Jessica Jones. Like, Jessica Jones is right after all 3 seasons of Daredevil, because that was the difference. Is Daredevil was a controlled narrative. They had even if that show never gets brought back, and I think it should.
You think that season 3 of Daredevil is better than season 1 of Jessica Jones?
I'm saying that as a whole, there was a full narrative. We saw a full story arc. We saw the character grow. We saw characters change. We saw the story come to, at this point, a defined conclusion.
I'll challenge that. If you don't watch The Defenders, which was god-awful, you don't know why Daredevil's missing.
I'll give you that. They really don't reference it fully, and it's probably for the best that they don't. I will give you that. Jessica Jones season 1 is really fucking good, with the exception of like 3 episodes.
And the ending of it?
I didn't hate the ending. I just think they shouldn't have, spoilers, killed him off.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Like, that ending of it was not smart.
That was stupid.
Because there was 3 seasons of Jessica Jones?
All these
Or was
shows,
there 2?
I think 3.
The
all
third one was where the girl turns into...
Yeah, I just stopped watching.
What's her cat? What's her name?
Yeah.
Go ahead, what were you saying?
But I honestly think that's a show that would have benefited from having fewer episodes.
Jessica Jones?
There was like 2 or 3 episodes of Jessica Jones where she's like, maybe I can rehabilitate the Purple Man. And it's like, why? Yeah. Like, why are you trying to like make Kilgrave a good guy? Like, it was just dumb. Like, it was a waste. And it's something that if they wanted to explore it, they could have done in a later season. Like, he could have come out and said, oh no, I'm a good guy now. Like, think about it. And he was a really, really fucking compelling character. Like, you got sucked into that guy. Like, he was a creep and he was awful. And like, he even had a terrible background himself, but like, he was fucking interesting. Mm-hmm. And then they followed up with like, oh, it's Jessica Jones's mom, maybe. Kind of.
That was bad.
It's really fucking bad.
She used to like snipe with a handgun from like a mile away. That was like really poorly done.
Even so, her existing was really bad. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, it goes like really hard right.
Yeah. And there was no... Season 1 kind of set it, because in the comics, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are a thing. They have a daughter together. And they kind of set that up in the beginning, in season 1 of Jessica Jones, where like Luke Cage shows up, we're like, yo, this guy's badass, and like he's cool and shit. And then they immediately abandon it. Like, I don't even think he's in season 2.
Well, that's not the only person that they abandoned pretty poorly. Was they also did really poorly with Jigsaw.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like, they make him, they do that whole fight scene at the end of season 1. They crush his face. Like, that's how
dude, like, that looked painful. We're just like,
yeah.
boom, your face in this glass is like grinding up, and then he's like, boom, a second time. It just keeps happening.
Yeah, and it was, it looked cool. I was like, oh, wow, well done. Like, whatever. Then, like, I felt like in season 2, he was like a whining bitch. Like, he was just like.
And, like, his face wasn't that scarred.
No.
It, like, really wasn't that bad.
Like, it should have looked more like Two-Face.
Like, honestly, did you see Punisher Warzone? I hope if we ever start doing Hero Cinema
I've
again,
seen. Well, I'm waiting for you.
Put that. Oh, true. I mean, we could do it tonight. No, we can't. It's kind of late.
That's like a 3-hour-long movie.
What?
We could do it Wednesday.
We do Wednesday.
We're going to Geekery.
Yeah, after Geekery we can do it.
Yeah, we'll just do it. All right, that works. Cool. Well, Hero Cinema will be back on Wednesday. We'll be watching the Avengers unless somebody uses the wild card rule that we came up with.
Yeah,
whatever the hell it was.
That you can skip one movie and pick something else.
Yeah.
Your choice. Now, one thing to note is that it's been a while, so we might not be able to save Hero Cinema, but we can damn sure avenge it.
I'm cutting this segment short and getting a word from our sponsor after that message.
Why Am I a Nerd podcast network has been brought to you by our sponsor, Me Moms. The best breakfast and lunch down the Jersey Shore with 3 great locations in Wall Township, Middletown, and Brick, New Jersey. Me Moms specializes in unique and fun takes on your traditional lunch and breakfast items. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can find more information at www.memoms.com.
You know what I realized? I totally realized that last segment was about the Green Lantern, and we did not answer the question. We went on a rant and a tangent about fucking...
Oh, sure, you're right. Well, whatever. Fuck it.
I guess the moral of the story is no, we don't think that this is
we don't think it's going to happen. We barely even got into fucking talking about Green Lantern.
Yeah.
But it's all backup characters. It's things you don't normally care about. Whatever. Let's go with it. Featured comic of the week.
We're back.
We're back. Featured comic of the week. We've got Old Man Logan. Came out in June 2008 from Mark Millar and Steve McNiven. Now, I noticed, actually, we've done a lot of Mark Millar books, which is a testament to his writing skill. Like, he's got, by far, the most books that we've read on here, unless you count each individual issue of The Boys, which might make me want to claw my eyes out.
Yeah, it's on my other phone. Fuck. I had the list of all the
all the books?
All the books that we've read. so far.
But from Mark Millar and Steve McNiven, who last teamed for the monumental Civil War, bring us the most important Wolverine story of the 21st century. Nobody knows what happened on the night the heroes fell. All we know is that they disappeared and evil triumphed, and the bad guys have been calling the shots ever since. What happened to Wolverine is the biggest mystery of all. For 50 years, no one has heard No one has heard hide nor hair from him. That's really weirdly worded. And in his place stands an old man called Logan, a man concerned only about his family, a man pushed to the brink by the Hulk gang, a man forced to help an old friend, the blind archer Hawkeye, drive 3,000 miles to secure his family's safety. Get ready for the ride of your life, Logan.
So this book is awesome.
It's really good.
It is very well done. It's probably like one of the most graphic Wolverine comics that I've read.
Happen, yeah.
So pretty much it's based on the fact that it's been 50 years since the night of that all the heroes fell. There was a huge, which you assume there is a big war.
Well, there was at one point. They referenced that the Thing is like after the night the heroes fell. He's like the leader of the last remaining group of heroes, and he leads them to a failed battle in Vegas.
Wolverine.
What? No, the Thing does. I mean, I think Wolverine's there, but he's not like the same.
Okay, this is after that happens.
Yeah. No, this is. Yeah. Sorry.
It gets a little confusing on that. In a timeline sense, it gets a little confused. So he's pretty much he's not Wolverine anymore. He's now just goes by Logan. He's married to a woman named Maureen. They have 2 kids, Scotty and Jade.
Which do you think Scotty is named after Cyclops?
100%. And they're pretty much living on a farm in the middle of the wasteland in a fucking apocalypse.
Yeah.
And they're struggling. They're not making any money. They tried to sell like their pigs or donkeys or something like that, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you like 10 cents for it, whatever the fuck it is." So, pretty much, they need to come up with. It's kind of a cheesy. It's kind of like they pretty much need to come up with rent payment, and their landlord is Bruce Banner's children.
Bruce Banner's incestuous children with his cousin.
Yeah, that got real fucking weird. So pretty much. The children show up. I don't remember their names. Something stupid. And
they're all like super like rednecky.
Yeah. And they're pretty much like, hey, you have our money. And Logan's pretty much like, I'll have it to you next week or double next month or whatever the hell it was. And they're like, okay, fine. You have, next month you have to pay us double.
Yeah.
They're like, but first you're going to get your ass beat. So they pretty much fucking Guy Gardner has asked and curb stomped the shit out of him. And beat him to a living pulp, where his son comes out with a shotgun. It's like, yo, pump the fucking brakes, and he's like, don't do it. So they leave, and they're trying to figure out pretty much what to do. And then Hawkeye rolls up, and Hawkeye is blind, driving the fucking Spider-Mobile, which I can't figure out how the fuck he managed to drive there when Logan finally agrees to do a delivery job to New Babylon, which I guess is supposed to be like. Yeah, like the main city.
Yeah. Maybe DC.
So Logan agrees to go with him, and the first thing he says when he gets in the truck is he's like, how the hell are we going to get there? You're blind. And Hawkeye just pretty much says like, I just need you to tell me where to go. So
how did you get there in the first place?
How the fuck did you get there first? They was telling you where to go. The United States is broken into 4 kingdoms. Hulkland, Kingdom of the Kingpin, Doom's Lair, and the President's Quarter. All at which they go through every kingdom, but they really briefly go through them. Like, they're not really like...
Yeah, it's not like heavy, like, this is what's happening here. This is what's happening here. It's just more the fact that these places are all kinds of fucked up. And that's something I actually want to reference when we get to the end of this.
So then they begin going on this journey, and they come across this group of, I guess, this gang called the Ghost Riders, obviously a knockoff of Ghost Rider, which they never really explain them. Like, what the hell is going on, but pretty much the Ghost Riders ambush them, and Hawkeye goes absolutely apeshit with his blindness and pretty much kills them all because Logan says he will not unleash his claws. He's not that man anymore. He doesn't kill anymore. It's not about violence. So Hawkeye's doing all the killing, and at which Hawkeye pretty much, again, he's blind. How the fuck does he see? And Logan asks him, like, how are you doing this? And he's pretty much like, the more they move, the better I can sense where they are. I think he says something like, "I might be blind, but I'm not deaf."
So he's Daredevil, basically.
Yeah, and then they land into Hammerfall, where Magneto and Absorbing Man finished the fight. I don't really remember what fight they were talking about, but I know that you're introduced to Ultron 8, which I'm assuming is supposed to be Ultron.
Yeah.
And he's super like, "Hey, what's up, Hawkeye?" Like casual to him, like, and you're like, kind of like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then they throw in the weird Hawkeye relationship.
Yeah,
twist.
which because like I was trying to do the math on this in my head because Spider-Man and Hawkeye Spider-Man's probably a little bit younger than Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Hawkeye's late 20s, early 30s. Spider-Man's supposed to be like early to maybe mid 20s.
Yeah.
So Hawkeye was married to Peter Parker's youngest daughter, who is black and named Tanya. So it's like, who did Peter Parker marry?
Right, and that's
Possibly Glory Grant, I guess. That's the only character I could think of in his history that would be close, that I think he dated briefly. But
I don't even know who that is.
she's one of J. Jonah Jameson's assistants. There was Betty Brant, then Glory Grant, because apparently they have to run.
Yeah, this was really weird because when they kept talking about her when she showed up, I was like, wait a minute, is she like an African-American human being? Not that I give a fuck, but I was just like...
But it's like, who did Spider-Man have a kid with? It just
Yeah.
like it just adds more questions. You're like, what about Mary Jane?
And they never talk about who it is. So pretty much when Hawkeye gets there, Tanya's kind of like, "Yo, your daughter Ashley, has gone off to the Kingpin lair.
Yeah.
To go fucking kill Kingpin because she wants to be the leader of, I guess she wants to be the ruler of that kingdom.
I mean, that'd be one way to do it.
It's pretty much what it is. So Hawkeye finds out and he's like, "Yo, we kind of got to take a detour. We got to go find my kid." And Logan's like, "Nah, fuck you, man." Like,
he's like, I got my kids to worry about.
Yeah, and he's like, "Look, I told you we can go from A to B, and then I want to go back from B back to A. I don't want any of this bullshit." So eventually, somehow, Hawkeye's like, "Look, I need your help. We're friends." And he's like, "Okay, fine." So they go off, and which you find out that Ashley has been kidnapped by the Kingpin, and her team is based on herself, the Punisher, and Daredevil, who the Punisher and Daredevil immediately get eaten by raptors in like a fucking coliseum. Like there's people watching them, it looks like the fucking fight, and they just get devoured. You find out that Kingpin actually killed Magneto, which
How?
Yeah, that was
Like,
really badly done.
Was he asleep? Like, what?
I don't know. They didn't really explain that. They just said that he's dead, and then you find out that Daredevil and Punisher get eaten. Hawkeye and Logan finally show up, and they drive through a Walmart, which is pretty much is what Kingpin's using as his huge base to save Ashley. So Hawkeye goes in there again. Logan refuses to fight anybody. Hawkeye goes apeshit, kills everybody, shoots them all away, releasing Ashley. Ashley then cuts off the Kingpin's head with a shotgun barrel, which I don't understand. I didn't know that she was that strong because I'm trying to figure out.
I guess if she's got to have some remnants of spider powers, right? Like,
she swings a shotgun once and knocks it off like a fucking golf ball.
That's what I'm saying. She's got to have like Spider-Man's like strength, like.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought it was a little bit of like
Spider-Man's
little bit of a stretch.
That's what gets you about this.
What?
Punisher and Daredevil get eaten by raptors, and it's this that gets you.
No, the dinosaur thing is a little crazy, which we'll get to in a second. You are dying, bro. You are struggling.
Every time I burp, more comes up, and I'm just like, Jesus. Like,
it's all right. We're almost through. We got like 10 minutes left. We got like 10 minutes left.
I need to put something else in my stomach to get rid of this heat.
So pretty much what happens is Ashley, you find out that Ashley does want to seize control over the Kingpin's quarters, and she does get what she wants, and she goes to kill her father, only to find out that Logan ends up helping Hawkeye escape, and then Ashley and her new crew somehow manage to fucking catch up to them after they're in this Spider-Mobile, and they have to have like a 30-minute head start, and then all of a sudden, Ashley's group catches up, at which they're in a car chase. Earthquake happens. Hawkeye and Logan fall into this crater that I guess is pretty much formed with a bunch of melioids who pretty much eat people.
Yeah,
I guess they're molioids, how they would say.
Yeah, mole man's people.
They're like cannibals.
Yeah.
and Ashley's crew gets eaten. But somehow Hawkeye and Logan, who have been under there, I think they even say for like an hour or two, are not even touched. Of course, typical superhero, good guy shit. They eventually get out, and they come across Loki's skeleton, which is pretty massive, I believe, if I remember, in the shot, which I should probably switch these two over.
Frost giant, right?
Yeah, he's huge.
See if I can find it.
Yeah, and he's crushed by the Baxter building. So pretty much they're insinuating that because the Baxter building is in what? Where is that again?
That's the Fantastic Four's.
Yeah, but where is it? Go to chapter 4. Loki's the Loki thing is in chapter 4.
Thank you.
So pretty much he gets crushed by the Baxter building, but here's the weird part. Where's Mount Rushmore?
South Dakota. That's why it's like fucking weird.
So they find Loki's again crushed, but then the next shot they're driving past Mount Rushmore, at which Red Skull is now one of the 5th skulls in there. I'm like, wait a minute, those like 2 different sides of the fucking spectrum. How the hell did they pull that off? So Mark Millar maybe work on your geography a little bit.
Yeah.
They then find themselves, Logan and Hawkeye, stop at a bar. And when they're at this bar, Logan's getting really frustrated and pissed off that he almost releases his claws. And you kind of don't know why. And, Hawkeye's like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Why aren't you, violent anymore? Why don't you want to kill people? And he tells the story to Hawkeye as to what exactly happened to him and what exactly happened to the X-Men. And I believe some of the Avengers 2 might have actually been in there as well.
Yeah, it actually doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're in Electroville, which is somewhere between Wyoming and South Dakota. It's really weird. It doesn't explain at all how it got there. I had to double check that. I was like,
But anywho, so you find out that Wolverine starts telling the story, and you find out.
And this part's brutal. I remember the first time I read this comic, this is what I suspected happened.
I had no idea.
I had a feeling something happened where he killed his friends. I knew that's what it was going to be.
Really?
I didn't know how they were going to do it. And I think the Mysterio angle was really good because at one point, Wolverine even comments, he's like, he even made them smell different. So, like, they didn't even smell like his friends because normally his senses, you'd be like, hold on, like, something's up. Like, that's normally his trump card. So he completely trusted his senses and massacred everyone. And I think Mysterio's like, yeah, if we had sent in real villains, maybe, we would have beaten you, but we definitely would have taken casualties. And like you going against people that you would that would hesitate to face you, even that like, that's that split second where you flinch and you second guess yourself is enough time for you to go in and finish the job. Mm-hmm. So like he single-handedly takes out a massive chunk of, Marvel Universe fighters. And just destroying all the X-Men,
But they never explain what happens to Mysterio, I don't think.
I think he just leaves after that.
Right, he's just gone.
Yeah, which if I'm Wolverine, I'm probably going to hunt that motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he never goes after
he's mentally broken after that. Like, he tries to kill himself and it doesn't work.
He gets his head, like, run over by a train and somehow still lives.
Which, I don't know how the train didn't derail.
How did he survive? How did that cut his head off?
Because it's adamantium.
You can't be cut off.
Adamantium can't be cut by anything other than adamantium. So theoretically, if you're a trainer going down the track and there's this, 400 pounds of adamantium sitting right there, I would think that would derail the train. It would like hop off the track a little bit.
Makes sense.
So
makes sense. But that does not happen. He just gets crushed. Yeah. And then heals himself. And then we find out that immediately, literally, the last panel is pretty much him getting his head cut off. The start of the next chapter is them getting chased by a Venom T-Rex.
Yeah.
Where did the dinosaurs come from? And this is what you were saying before. Like, so they're just like
there's something
out there.
Apparently they came from the Savage Land. I had to do a little research on that. But like it's weird because the Venom symbiote's just out there moving along and takes over. Like at one point, right after the Loki thing, it's just sitting there in the background, like lurking. And I'm like, what? Why is it there?
You're right. I forgot about that.
It's like really fucking weird though. I'm like, how? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like it's like Mark Millar's just like, it'd be cool, Venom T-Rex.
But it's kind of funny. Like when it shows up, I was like, all right, like it's kind of goofy.
Thing, but like, yeah.
They then find Emma Frost, which I didn't know Emma Frost was a mind reader or a psychic.
What?
I didn't know that.
She's a very powerful psychic. Yeah, and then she can also turn herself into diamonds, and she dresses like a whore. So.
Well, that's all I thought she was. And pretty much, they talk about how no mutant has been born in 40 years. So she's like, because when they meet her, she's like, yeah, there's no new mutants. Like, we're it. Dr. Doom, I guess, is the...
Well, he's got his own section.
Yeah, of the New Babylon City. I think he was pretty much...
I feel like I can't imagine Dr. Doom would own something that wasn't named after him.
Right. But apparently he doesn't give a fuck because he just has...
I could have sworn it was... Hold on.
She's just there with him.
Is that name something different? Oh, yeah, there's 4 kingdoms.
Yeah.
Hulkland, Kingdom of the Kingpin, Doom's Lair, and the President's Quarter.
So Emma Frost is in Doom's Lair with Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And finally they get to New Babylon City, in which you find out that the package that Hawkeye is transporting is 99 vials of a super serum, and it's for the rebels. And pretty much
He's going to make a bunch of Captain Americas.
Yes, and pretty much Hawkeye is like, hey... I want to be a part of this team. And they're pretty much like, bro, you're fucking old. You're blind. We don't need you here. And pretty much Logan and Hawkeye get screwed. And they both get lit up like a Christmas tree by the buyer, who you find out is an undercover S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Yeah.
And then Hawkeye's kind of like dying.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you.
Yeah. And he gets shot in the head in none other... than the right side of the fucking comic book.
You can't help but see it.
And you just see it. And he gets shot right in the head. Logan's been lit up like a fucking tree. He's bleeding out. But of course, these guys are stupid enough to not realize who the fuck he is. So they bring the bodies back to Red Skull, who's now running the White House, which is also the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And... pretty much, they show him the body of Hawkeye, and Red Skull's like...
Oh, and hold on. There's something to note here about the Red Skull. What's he wearing?
He's wearing Captain America's uniform.
Yeah, which is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, it looks really weird because you find out he ends up killing Captain America prior. Yeah. So they bring Hawkeye's body there, and, Red Skull's like, okay, cool, whatever, and they throw Logan's body back, and Logan's body starts to move. And, of course, the fucking henchmen are like, hey, there's something wrong with this body. Like, he's been shot to fucking hell. And he pops out, and Red Skull knows immediately who it is. And he's like,
fuck.
Yep. He's like, you can't kill him. So they get into this huge fight, and Red Skull's kind of getting the upper hand at first, which I was really surprised by. I didn't know Red Skull was that fucking...
He's basically the same as Captain America.
Is he?
Sure. So, yeah. So he should be about pretty even on par with Wolverine's strength.
So they get into a good fight, and then Wolverine ends up just cutting his head off.
Yeah.
Decapitated, done. With Captain America's shield, which is a little bit of irony. And... I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was well done. And I thought it's even funnier is that Wolverine finds Iron Man's suit
and uses that to
fly back home. So he pretty much he leaves his serum there. I don't think he takes the serum, but he does take his money.
It is weird he doesn't take the serum.
He doesn't take the serum, but he takes the money because
you'd think he'd want to give that to his family at least and be like, you'll be safe.
Yeah. So he takes the money to go back to his family to pay the fucking Hulk family, the money for the rent. And Abe is there. Abe's, I guess, the neighbor that lives around the corner. And Logan's like, what's up? Now, keep in mind, Logan is still Logan. He's not Wolverine. He has not unleashed his claws. He fought Red Skull just with his bare hands and cut his head off with the fucking Captain America shield. And Abe pretty much tells Logan, hey, your family's dead. Hulk family was bored. They came here. I think they raped and killed his entire family. His son, his daughter, and his wife. And that was enough for Logan to unleash the claws, rolling into Chapter 8, which is the final chapter, at which Wolverine finally catches up to
Hulk's
kids.
Fucks them up. Classic Wolverine.
Annihilated.
Yeah.
And it was no fight, no chance. They just fucking straight up die. And you end up...
not know who they were fucking with.
No. And then you find out that, as you said earlier in this segment, was that Bruce Banner fucked his first cousin to have his kids. So... I don't know when Bruce Banner became a fucking creep.
It's implied that the gamma radiation that is in his blood started poisoning his brain, so he just loses his mind as a result. He goes basically kind of insane. So and then I guess he kind of forced himself on She-Hulk, and then they had kids.
Yeah, which was really weird.
Yeah.
And when Banner comes out, when Wolverine finally comes face to face with him, he's like an old. He looks like fucking. Stan Lee. Like he's like old. He's like, R.I.P. Shout out. But no, he you know what I mean. Like he's like he's like this scrawny little old guy, and he's just like, oh, what's up? And Wolverine goes to fight him. He's getting like tossed around, like straight up tossed. And for some unknown reason, he just has to rip the cow in half. There's like this poor cow, just like wandering around. And that was like
you should put that in that picture up so people can see it.
When he just rips it. What time is it? What time is the timestamp?
I don't know.
1 hour and 6 minutes. I will mark this. You'll see the picture right about now, hopefully. And it's just so unnecessary. But it's like last week with fucking Doomsday. Doomsday.
Supergirl. I was trying to.
No, Doomsday. He kills the fucking bird. He breaks Bambi's neck.
When he punches Supergirl in the face and she just explodes.
No, he just destroys the animals.
Yeah,
Doomsday does. And now this motherfucker does the same thing too.
Like, are you making hamburgers?
Yeah.
Maybe you want a nice steak for the evening? Like, what are you doing?
So then Hulk eats Wolverine. And 5 hours later, Hulk...
Which, something I want to call out right here. Now, it's one thing to say you're going to eat just a regular-ass human being. And I get it's the heat of the moment. Hulk's a creature of rage. You might be like, I'm just going to eat this motherfucker. But while you're chewing, you don't realize your bones are cracking because of his adamantium skeleton. And we established in the past that you can kill Wolverine with acid. So let's say even Hulk has enough stomach acid and it's potent enough to really dissolve all Wolverine's skin and flesh to the point that he can't heal, and there's just bones left.
But that's not.
But I'm saying, but assuming that's the case.
Well, he didn't need a Pacquiao real pepper, real chip thing.
Yeah, because I was going to say he's going to feel like he did.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, because he's going to be shitting hundreds of pounds of metal bones for God knows how, that literally have to be shredding his organs as they pass through. That can't be fun.
No. And pretty much, instead of shitting out Wolverine heals and explodes out of his fucking stomach.
An alien,
yeah, 100%. Yeah. And the whole time, fucking. So Hulk's like nerdy ass. He probably should be on this show. Fucking cousin or nephew is like, Hulk, like you don't look so good. You don't feel well. And Hulk's like, oh, my stomach hurts.
It's supposed to be something I hate.
Yeah. And the best is, Wolverine comes out, again, busts through, Hulk's dead, and then here's this nerdy-ass little Hulk just kind of like, what the fuck is going on?
He's like, you're coming with me.
No, he takes the baby.
Oh, that's right.
He kills that guy.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Wolverine's like, fuck you, you killed my family. So he kills this nerdy-ass poor little Hulk guy, and then he ends up taking the baby of Baby Hulk, puts him on his back, and he's just kind of like, here we go.
Yep.
Pretty much, the ending of this is no different than midway through The Mandalorian when he finds Baby Yoda.
Yeah, but that's adorable, though. Baby Yoda's fucking cute.
I mean,
and he was like on a contract to kill Baby Yoda and was like, I can't kill this little motherfucker. Look how cute he is.
Baby Hulk was just like wrapped up in like a fucking toiletry thing the whole time.
I'm actually gonna... Oh, sorry.
No, I was saying we have the list of the books that we were talking about before. It is actually on here. And, this is our 15th comic we've read so far. And everyone's like, well, you've had 22 issues. Like, why are you...
The Boys.
Because we did the fucking Boys.
Do not read it.
Would you say this is a go fucking read? A GFR?
Oh, yeah, this is like a GFR. Definitely a GFR.
So go read it, motherfuckers.
I'm actually doing a last-minute change for my Shenanigans engine. I'm going to save my current one for next week. I'm going with this week... I'm terrible at drum rolls. You're the musician. You should be doing that.
I'm really off right now.
That was still good. It wasn't a drum roll beat, but it was kind of like you dropped a beat. Gamma radiation. Because, bullshit. Like, you would just die. But I feel like all the time in the Marvel Universe now, they're like, oh, it's giving off gamma radiation. Oh, this was, harmless except for the gamma radiation. And it's what makes the Hulk. Like, inexplicably, he was near a bomb that exploded and turned into a green rage monster instead of just dying or slowly getting cancer while his organs melted. So, kind of bullshit. And it obviously enables a bunch of other bullshit because you've got Abomination, you've got A-Bomb, who is Hulk's sidekick who eventually got Hulk powers. You got 2 or 3 different versions of the Hulk. You got She-Hulk, all fucking gamma radiation. Speaking of gamma radiation and how it boils you from within, I can feel this chip coming back up. And God help me, the fury it's gonna wreak.
The chip is starting to hit me now. My stomach is definitely starting to get.
It's like a low grade heartburn right now. I got to get some food.
I don't have the heartburn. I have the low stomach. It's either coming up or it's going down. It's one of the two.
Something's gonna happen. I'm not gonna like it.
But you know what, everybody, we did it for you.
We did.
We
For the
did it
fans.
for you, for that 100 subscriber
Someone please do it.
on YouTube, whatever the fucking may not be. But one last time, this is Why Am I Nerd presents Yo Comics. You can follow us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd, and listen to new issues every Tuesday on YouTube and your favorite podcast service.
Yes, sir.
So we are officially the most badass nerds with the mouths.
Goddamn.
I'm Cameron James. He's Matt Ferreira. Until next time,
We're out.
my stomach is fucking killing
Oh
me.
my god, dude. Like,